In a world filled with commercialism and overwhelming consumerism, many people are choosing to take a step back and live a more thoughtful, introspective, and simple life.
One of those people happens to be our next guest, author Barbara Elaine Singer, who writes about her experience of self-discovery in her new book, Life Without Reservations. Nice to have you, Barbara. Read your book, and props to you. Okay, what inspired you to take this journey? Some people might consider it pretty drastic to get rid of your home, car, everything. Really.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
You are definitely having an adventure.
A definite adventure, but I wasn't really inspired by, I want to go and do this. It really started out more as tragedy. My fiance died very suddenly, right 6 months before our wedding, and my only child went away to college a month difference. And so I really had the rug ripped out from under me.
Oh.
So out of pure desperation, I called my 70-year-old dad who lives in Pennsylvania, and I asked if I could borrow his camper. I wanted to go on a little road trip out west and just get away from everybody. They try to help you when you're going through these terrible experiences, but the best thing you can do is be alone. Well, my dad said no, but I'll go with you, and can we go to Alaska? So that's how the whole crazy trip started.
Wow. So give us a little bit of background about what you have done with your life since then.
I got on the road trip with my dad, and I really learned that my dad didn't keep up with technology, so he became a little bit of a dinosaur. And I saw how my daughter, who at 25 looked at me at 45 thinking my mom is such a dinosaur, and then I'm looking at my 70-year-old dad thinking he's way off the track. So that's what I learned about my dad.
Oh, nice.
Now, what was it? You lived in the camper, and then that seemed to agree with you, just being on the road with no, hard game plan. Then you did a sailboat too?
Well, after I came back from the road trip with my dad, I went back to my old life in Florida, and I knew in one day I could never do this again. I went back to my job, and I knew I was finished. So that's when I liquidated everything, moved to South Florida, rented a room from a friend of a friend, and wanted to work at a tiki bar on the beach. That was my big goal in life. So I didn't find the tiki bar, but I ended up at a marina bar, and that's where I met Captain Pete, who lived on his 42-foot Hunter sailboat. He wanted to go island hopping in the Caribbean. I raised my hand, didn't know how to sail, didn't really know him, and we took off for 100 days in one direction.
Wow.
So you call yourself homeless, which means you don't own a home, you don't rent an apartment, you just kind of go with the wind.
Right.
Wow.
I still own my home in Florida, but I rent it to someone else, so that's self-sufficient.
Okay.
And then I rent a room from a local. That way I don't move furniture. I literally travel with 2 suitcases and a computer. But I set up shop for a while in a certain place.
Now, who was that with you in that picture?
That is Giuseppe. So after the sailboat, I wanted to move to Florence if I could live anywhere in the world. So I rented a room from a lady on the internet, didn't speak the language, didn't know a soul. 10 days later, I went as a tourist to the winery, Il Savatici in Tuscany, and met Giuseppe.
And you brought a bottle of the wine here
this
for
is
us
the
as
wine
well.
that
Wow, that's
Giuseppe
pretty exciting.
makes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now not to be a downer, but what do you do for health insurance and security and that kind of thing?
These are the big things that people always want to know. I'm 48 years old. I have nothing wrong. I don't take any medication, and I have a $5,000 deductible, and I pay $252 a month for that policy. And then security, as you can see what happened in my life with my fiance dying, and I watched everything that happened to him after he died, or his life. And there is no such thing as security. You can do all the best planning in the world.
Exactly.
So my theory now is get on with it, live joyfully today, and just take it day by day.
And you've got some tips for people out there who may want to do something like this but don't know how to make that first step.
The biggest expense is your home. So if you can get out of your housing situation and rent a room for $500 a month or less. If you're leasing a car or have a payment on your car, sell it and buy something outright for $5,000 or less. Put liability only on it, and that will knock out 2 big payments right off the bat. And then my $1,000 a month living is $500 for the room and $500 a month for all your other expenses. But basically, the other expenses are eating, which is very little for one person. Getting a bus ticket, I use all public transportation as I'm going around.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people out there would love, love, love to read your book. Where can they get it?
Everywhere in a bookstore. You can order it from Amazon. It's an ebook if you want to do the green thing.
Okay, well, I've already taken that first step. I've downsized, and now I'm sleeping on this couch at night. They don't know it yet, but
Now
I've
we
just
do the
revealed it.
secret job. Thank you, Barbara.
Barbara, thank you so much, and
Thanks for having me.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.